tradition goes that originally the earth that we have here was all water, and there was an upper world, which was the world where all the animals and all the people lived on. And as the upper world got more crowded, they decided to find another place to live. They would send different animals down into the water to see if there was any way they could form a different world. And so finally, after many animals were sent, they finally sent the water beetle, and he swam to the bottom of the water, dug up some mud, and took it to the top. And as he began bringing more mud up to the top, he created the world, this world that we live on today. And as the world was formed, birds were sent out to see whether this world was habitable or not. And so after several times of trying, they finally sent down the eagle. And where the eagle flapped his wings, the mountains were formed. The valleys and also the mountains were formed. And whenever you cross the Smoky Mountains here, this is where you can see the eagle as to where he flapped his wings up and down. And after all the animals came down, then man came, followed by woman. And thus, this is where the center of the universe is, or this is how the Cherokee tradition goes. And from that time on, the Cherokees have always been here because we believe that this is the original Cherokee homeland, and we feel comfortable with this place.
But I'll tell you what, it's going to be pretty hectic back in here once this coal gets gone. I don't know what people are going to live on. Some few of them will retire and get a check or something, but what's the young people going to do? These little fellas here are 3 or 4, 2 or 3 year old. I mean, what future have they got? It's just hard. And the way the times are changing, I just don't know what people are going to do. I really don't. You can't mine coal if there's no coal to mine. The timber is getting gone. They used to be holes of water up this creek even in the fall, the driest time, waist deep. But right now in the fall year, a lot of times this branch will go dry. Of course, they say the water stream follows the coal. Well, naturally, if you're going to destroy that coal seam, then you're not going to have any water. And the trees, when you destroy that, you're destroying the water level.
I like Eastern Kentucky. I mean, I don't care to leave it for a while, but it's not the fast-paced rat race that you see in the cities. It's a more laid-back life. Everybody tries to help each other out, you know, and keep everybody going. I mean, our economy is not the greatest in the world. There's no doubt about that. And we do have a lot of unemployment, a lot of people on welfare, and a lot of poverty. But yet we've got friendship and unity here amongst our people. You know, you can go away from here and you meet a person from Eastern Kentucky or the mountains anywhere, you know it right away. You know, just by the way he acts and the way he talks.
You begin to realize that you took for granted a lot of things. Now, I figure we go down the city. I take my kids down to my sister's that lives in the city. They take for granted a lot. My kids gets real excited. with the things they have there. And then when they come into the mountains, their kids are just fascinated with, there's so much excitement here for them. I figure we take for granted what we have as well as they take for granted. And there's a time in a man's life that he realizes that the better things in life are free. They don't cost nothing. For instance, the sunset and the sunrise, the changing of the seasons. People talk about miracles. And why, you see the miracles every day if you look for them. The changing of the seasons is a miracle in itself.
Everyone owned the land, everyone could use it, and I believe they let the non-Indian people use the land as long as it was used the way they were used to using it.
I used to play, little bitty boy, and find the land and sand. I am great big boy, and find myself a man.
I believe that the deciding factor of the faction between the Cherokees and the settlers, especially in Georgia, was the finding of gold on Cherokee territory. This was something that they all wanted to grab. This was something they could all say, well, I found the gold that we were supposed to find. And once gold was discovered on Cherokee territory, I believe this really changed the course of Cherokee history. It's believed that 14,000 Cherokees started on the Trail of Tears and that a fourth of them died on the way. Now, all the Cherokees were forced to move at that time. Some of the Cherokees were already considered citizens of the state of North Carolina, and these were called the Oconaluftee citizen Indians. Most of these people lived on the Oconaluftee River area, and as a result, the state did consider them as citizens and were not part of the people who were forced to remove. And many of the people who live here are descendants from those citizen Indians.
My forefather done this after they put the corn in the crib the fall year, just before winter. So in celebration of good harvest, they done this dance. Ho way do ye, go way do ye, ho way do ye, hey go way do ye, ho way do ye, hey go way do ye, ho way do ye. Hey go way do ye, ho way do ye, hey go way do ye, ho way do ye, hey go way do ye, ho way do ye, hey go way do ye, ho way do ye. Corn was the main, they just couldn't do without it. Ain't no way. It was over here when the settlers came and served for their bread. They'd take and have it chopped up in the mill, you know. And, well, it was their livelihood. They couldn't do without it. They fed their horses. They had hogs. They fed their cows. They depended on the cows for the milk, the hogs for the meat, and the horses to tend their crops, most of the families were large families, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 children. There was 13 of us children, and Dad and Mom, and then my granddad died in 36. Well, Grandma stayed with us. That made 16, and you put 16 around the table, so you had to do barter. I worked a mini day, 50 cents a day, but that would buy, I could work a couple of days and buy me 2 pair of pants, and Mom usually made her shirts. She'd buy this cloth, and had an old Sanger sewing machine, pedal, and maybe a pair of shoes. My dad said that was the biggest problem, is when you had to buy us all shoes. And we usually got 1 pair, and that was it. And most of the family usually had 2 cows. That way, when one went dry, didn't give milk, you had to give them the milk. Most of them at that time didn't buy feed. They had corn, little ear we called nubbins. My mom usually milked 1 cow, and then 1 or 2 of my brothers milked the other. And my job was to take them to the pasture, and then that night go get them. We had milk twice a day at least. We didn't drink too much for breakfast, and then you use it to make gravy and cook with it and so on. And you'd have plenty of milk.
My grandfather never talked a lot about the early years. I just have sketches of that. We lived in the mountains in this part of McDowell County, and it was subsistence farming and a little bit of moonshining. My great-grandfather made his extra money from moonshining, and my granddad moonshined, and that was one of the big cash crops in McDowell County. And he had a very large family, and they were fairly poor by other people's standards, not by ours, but by other people's. And the Philadelphia lawyers, is what we always called them, came in when they found the minerals in McDowell County. They came in primarily and took over and built an industry. So billions of dollars have come out of this part of our county, and my family got $100 and horses, 4 horses and a cart. And it was only later that they realized what they had given up, and were furious.
Miles an hour, and she's gaining speed. Listen to the whistle moaning, wail, wail, wail. Has she got the power? I'll say yes indeed. Bring it in that Georgia mail.
There were about 8,000 people before mining in this county, and in 1950 there was a little over 100,000 people. It was so labor intensive in the beginning that we had to bring in people from all over the world to do it.
But they Hungarians, and they were Slavish, and they were Italians, and I think there were 2 or 3 French moved in there. They come from across the ocean. And they didn't know our way of life. We didn't know their way. It was a hard life, but we all learned a lot. We learned a lot with each other. I learned to sing for them, and I learned to talk, to read, to count for them, and I forgot all of that. And that's something I would have loved to remember, but I can't remember it.
At the time that they built those communities, they were top-notch communities. They had things that lots of other communities for their times did not have. Public water systems, public sewer systems, or what they called public sewer systems at that time. And they built everything. They made sure that if it was a community need, it was provided. That was the good side of that. They also made sure that they controlled everything that they provided.
And so Andy, it was so hard. He got in debt to the company for his rent and for everything and our living and everything. And so remember well that Andy hadn't drawed a penny in about 4 years, that he hadn't drawed a penny in money. And he would get $1 a day, and there were 5 of us, and $2 on Saturday. And you had to make out on that. That's what you had to live on. And these, of course, stuff was cheap then to what it is now, but it was hard. They'd get disgusted, you know, and they'd say, well, I just don't know where I'm going to make it or not. And Andy'd get out and put paper boxes, pieces of boxes on his shoes to keep the gravels from the cold eating him up when he went into work. And patches, they looked like old patch quilts, his clothes did, his paints, this one patch right on another. And so this boss said, well, you son of a bitch, if you can't get it, take your tools out and another son of a bitch is waiting on you. Andy said to Lou, that made me so mad I thought I'd blow up, but he said they had me handicapped. I had to take what was put on me. You just don't know the half of it out there, what they went through with.
Dollar, dollar down, cause your deep is going down. Don't let your deep go down. Let your deep go down, go down. Don't let your deep go down. Dollar, dollar down, cause your deep is going down. Don't let your deep go down.
One day my grandfather was in the coal mine and his boss told him to go back into this section that had a danger board over it and to do something. And my granddad refused to do that. And the boss told him several times to do that, and my granddad continued to refuse. And he said, you know, I will be killed if I go back there, and I've got a big family, and I'm just not going to be killed. So they fired my granddad on the spot. And at that time, you had to walk out of the coal mine. And they were really far into the mountain, so it took my granddad about 2 hours to get home from when he was fired on the section. Well, by the time he got home after he was fired, the company had come to my grandmother's house and had evicted the whole family during that 2-hour period of time. And there were 8 children in the home at that time with my grandmother, and it was in November, so it was getting chilly and cold outside. And when my granddad got to the house, my grandmother, they had taken everything out of the house. They had just set them out in the middle of the road, and my grandmother had already gotten the cook stove fired up and was cooking dinner for my granddad because he got home about the regular time that he would have gotten home. And he was fired, lost his job, the only job that he could do in this county. He had lost his home because the company owned the home. He had a young family, and all of them were sitting in the middle of the road, and my grandmother was cooking on a cook stove when Granddaddy came to the house to tell her what had happened. That was the last time my grandfather ever worked in a coal mine. Before then, he had been a fairly strong union supporter, but after that was when he became a union organizer.
There was no money, very little money circulated, very little. And then the union started, and that like scared me to death because I was unlearned. I didn't know what it was all about, and I was scared to death, afraid that Andy was going to get killed because they had to sneak out, you see, to get that union started. And they'd sneak off and go up to Potter's Fort at that dance hall, and finally they messed around and got the union started. They made it, and when they did, you talk about poor people showing themselves and letting them know what they had gone through with. They really did, and I mean it was good.
And then in the early and mid-50s, mechanization came to the coal mines, and machinery took people's jobs. After mechanization, it was kind of touch and go. From the 50s to the 80s, the mines would be full force, working 7 days a week some years, and the next year they would be down to 2 or 3 days a week. There were like 3,500 people working at Oak Coal Company in 1950, and by the mid-1950s that had been cut in half, and whole communities were devastated. You would go to town and there would be many fewer people, many fewer cars. Businesses that had been there for years would have closed, and whole families lost their jobs, and whole families left, usually for the industrialized North, Chicago, Detroit, many areas in the Northeast, and where my family had all lived together, 40 or 50 of us within a very small community. By 1957, there was one uncle that was continuing to work in the coal mines, as well as my father. And all of the other men in the mine had lost their jobs and had left. My family fairly well migrated to two places, to Florida and to Detroit, to the auto industry.
When I was a curly-headed baby, I was sitting proud upon my daddy's knee. He said, son, you go to school and learn your letters, and don't you be a dusty miner like me. And I was born and raised in the mouth of Hazard Holler, with the coal cars roaring and rumbling past my door. But now they're standing in a rusty row all empty, and the L&N don't stop here anymore. I used to think my daddy was a rich man, with scrip enough to buy that company store. But now he goes downtown, his pockets are empty, and and his hair's white as the February snow. And I was born and raised in the mouth of Hazard Holler, with the coal cars roaring and rumbling past my door. But now they're standing in a rusty row all empty, and the L&N don't stop here anymore. Last night I dreamt I went down to the office to get my payday like I'd done before. But the old kudzu vines were growing through the doorway. There were trees and grass growing through the floor. And I was born and raised in the mouth of Hazard Holler, with the coal cars roaring and rumbling past my door. But now they're standing in a rusty row all empty, and the L&N don't stop here anymore.
When a coal company moved out, the town was devastated. When they pulled out, the houses were still there, but the water systems weren't kept up, the streets weren't kept up. It was just because the people didn't own it. They didn't own anything. They always depended on the company. And when you have years and years of that kind of dependency, you're like a little lost child when that benevolent father is taken away, in a sense.
It's rough, you know. I've worked all my life for everything I've got, and I'm in danger of losing it. It's a strain on your mind to be in this situation, and I want to continue to work the rest of my life. You get used to it, you know. It's kind of like a brotherhood or something, you know. You get used to going in there with the same people every day. You meet them every morning at the mines before daylight every morning, and you sit around and tell a few jokes and talk about what's going on in the world and try and solve the world's problems in a few minutes. And you go in and you work beside them, you work hard. You see a lot of danger, you see your life go in front of you. You know, you have some men that you work with that possibly save your life, and you've possibly saved the lives of some of the men you work with. And you just grow to come together to where you enjoy being with the people that you're working with. It's just a way of life here in eastern Kentucky. It's gone on for 100 years.
Have to do the best you can. Get out here and try. I don't know where we can get another job or not, and we'll just have to. Yeah, we're going to make it. They
take care of each other.
Yeah, well, that's right. We're going to have to take care of each other and help one another.
We found out that the company's not going to.
No.
I never thought I'd live to love the coal dust. Never thought I'd pray to hear the tipple roar. But Lord, I wish that grass could turn to money, and those greenbacks fill my pockets once more. And I was born and raised in the mouth of Hazard Holler, with the coal cars roaring and rumbling past my door. But now they're standing in a rusty row all empty, and the L&N don't stop here anymore.
There's nothing that we can do as far as applying the law other than not pay extended benefits. That's being kind of blunt, and I apologize again, and I know that doesn't help.
I'm 60 years old. Where am I going to get a job at? Wendy's won't hire me.
We cannot survive here. We're going to have to leave Kentucky. Is that what they want?
Basically, right now, I babysit for my 2-year-old daughter about 10 or 12 hours a day, which I've enjoyed every minute of being with her. You know, it's time that I would have never spent with her had I been working. And And that's the best thing that has come out of this so far is the time that I've spent with my daughter, and it's something that I never would have had, and I'm real glad to have had that time with her, to experience her growing up. Every day I see something different in her. I see her growing, and that brings my spirits up. That helps me a whole lot, being with her. As far as new modern technology and everything, there is going to be fewer and fewer coal miners here in eastern Kentucky and throughout the country for that matter. Coal industry is not going to last forever. We're not going to survive here on coal alone.
During the 80s, this county lost every major coal company that it had. And Olga was the third largest coal producing mine in this county. And people had been through the boom and bust cycle so many times that they just said to their kids and everyone, well, go on down to North Carolina and get you a job for a little while. And then when they open the mines back up, then you can come back home and work. So after the fall of 1989, for about a year, people kind of kept that hope alive. Even though the company and the management folks, the few that were remaining, said, this company is not coming back. And I think the thing that made the people finally decide that was true was when they sealed the mine. And that was like putting the mine to rest. That was like burying the dead. And people began to look around and say, this company is not going to open back up. What are we going to do? And for a while, folks wanted, it was not so much what are we going to do, but what are they going to do? And everybody got the same message back. There's no more they. If anything's going to be done with this community, it's up to us to do something.
There was nobody to take care of the water for the communities because the coal companies had always done that before.
I'll give you an idea what kind of water we have.
You all should have been here when I think they taped it up Shaft Holler, about 2 years ago. The sewage was coming into the water line up Shaft Holler.
And the water was like, one day you could turn your faucet on and it would be a reddish brown, or it may be black. There would be worms come out your spigot, bugs. Well, you should see my bathtub. It kind of turns your sinks and your tubs and stuff. It makes them a yucky color. They're not white any longer. The only thing we use our water for now is to clean our house, or if we wash a car, or stuff like that. We don't cook with it, we don't drink it. We haul all of our water from a mountain spring.
It was terrible. It's just hard to explain what our water was like. Well, the people in Coretta and Colwood finally came together and said, we've got to change this. We've got to do something with this water.
A bunch of women would kind of meet on the railroad tracks up this little hollow where the trains no longer run, and we'd sit around and we'd say, boy, wouldn't it be nice if we could get these railroad tracks removed and get us a park up through here. Wouldn't it be nice if we had a meeting center somewhere where we could meet and stuff like that. So finally we got to talking about the school being closed and ways that we could go about getting it. So we kind of got together and we set up a little group, 15-member board member.
One of the nice things about being at rock bottom is that you can try anything. And it may or may not work. But at least when you hit rock bottom, you know you have to try something. And that's when a group of us came together in Big Creek District and formed what was called the Big Creek People in Action. Can we get a motion to accept the March financial report? Before, they were waiting on the great savior to come in with 2 or 3 or 5,000 jobs and put everything back to the way it used to be. And now people realize we are going to be building one job at a time. But people in our community of 411 people, over 100 people came together to say, we've got to make a change. And with the Public Service District, they found a vehicle to do that. And we have organized around that, and through a fairly long process, we brought $3.5 million into the 2 communities of Coalwood and Creta, and we are rebuilding our water systems in both of those communities from the ground up. There will be nothing left of the old system. And we are currently constructing that new water system. That's a symbol to me as much as anything. It is the first time that our community has been able to come together and to change its own future. It seems like over the past 10 to 15 years that every time another day comes, we've lost something else in our 2 communities. We've lost our schools. This one, we were lucky enough to be able to turn into a community center. We've lost our mines and the jobs that provided to many people in McDowell County. And we've lost our most important asset are many of the wonderful people that have had to leave this part of the county because of looking for jobs. And many of them have left because of the terrible conditions with the water systems. So today is a real turning point for us. With the construction that's going on, we can look around and know that in the very near future we'll be able to turn the tap on and we'll have clean water. We'll be able to drink water in Corette and Coalwood for the first time in 4 years. That will be quite an accomplishment for us. Let's go.
Got all the air out there. I think we're in good shape now. I didn't think we would ever get it. I really didn't.
That should be enough.
I'm done.
You'll have to see. Wait and see if there's anything in it.
You see anything?
Not yet. Looks clear. But sometimes, you know, it'll have to sit a while. Oh boy.
Tastes good to me.
Does it taste like moonshine?
Yeah, I already drank some of that.
I thought it tastes good.
Mr. Lundy said it
Tastes good.
Yeah.
7 years, it's a long time. It's a long time to wait for water, but I guess there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, as you call it.
It makes me feel better about myself than I did when I sat home and done nothing. And I think that's true for a lot of women, that after they get out there and they get involved and they see they can do it. It's because kind of when I first started, I had this little saying. And we'd go into a meeting, and if they asked me to say anything, I'd say, oh, please don't ask me to say anything. You know, I'm brain dead. You know. And I kind of haven't said that in a long time now.
I think the next 10 years are just going to be fascinating for the Big Creek people in action because real people have taken control of their community and their lives. And we truly are only limited by how well we can dream. And that's just an exciting position to be in. And I can't wait. I hope I'll make it 10 more years just to see where we are 10 years from today.
I was 9 years old when we moved from Hammond and come in this mountain. This was, you take a kid that was born in a coal camp and get him out in a place like this and turn him loose. He's just like a little wild animal. And that's all we had as poor people was our hunting. And I hardly ever got to go fishing because we had to travel to do that. We had no means of doing that. And we just roamed this mountain, hunted, camped. It's just something that you can't put into words what it means to you.
Mom's leaving us.
But I feel sorry for people that can't get out and enjoy the simple things in life. There's a time that we could take a dozen eggs and a hunk of fat back and some cornmeal and go on this mountain and spend the whole weekend. Now the boys that used to camp with me, some of them's in Detroit, one of them in Alabama. They're scattered all over the United States. But there was a time in our life that we growed up into teenagers and stuff, and we couldn't enjoy a weekend without having a car and money and stuff, you know. But then after all that was over, now as a man gets older, he begins to come back and enjoy this. But I'd say all them guys that has traveled around misses their boyhood times in these mountains. It's something that you just can't put into words what it means. She's got out there and found some more ginseng herb. She skinned me alive. She beats me a coon hunting, she beats me a squirrel hunting, fishing.
I hope it ain't real deep over him. May never get him out.
I was more outdoors type. I'd get out and help Pa take care of the goats. I'd do the milking.
Help deliver the stock.
And
Pigs, she did.
Take care of the, help him feed. And like I say, Granny take care of the grandbabies while I was out doing things like that. I couldn't have made it without her, Herbie. I mean, she was with me with all my babies when I had.
Lord, I wish you know, I
when I
wish
had my
I had a
children.
penny for everyone I've helped deliver. I do. Me and my 10 great-grandchildren are right here together. There's 10 of them. There's 10 of them, and they're right here, well, almost right in the door. Did you know that? I've got one grandson out there. I've got 2 grandsons up here, great-grandsons up here. I've got a great-granddaughter up there. I've got a granddaughter and a grandson down there. I've got a granddaughter that's in high school in her 2nd year, and a great-grandson and another great-grandson. There's 10 of them up here. And when I buy Reese cups, I have to buy 10, because all 10 of them little ones will get a Reese cup. And they're every one beautiful, and they're every one good.
In the wintertime, we get snowed in. We either play cards, or my sister, she'll make gingerbread for the whole neighborhood. It ain't just made for her family. And she goes from door to door taking their little bags of gingerbread. And if somebody goes to the grocery, we make a list. If there's 10 families that needs food, we trade for 10 families and we distribute it out. Everyone who's got the four-wheel drive that will make it in the mountain does the shopping at the winter's bed. If the power goes off, everybody comes to my house. And we cook on my stove because you can open it up and fry eggs and bacon, or we bring the Coleman stove in and we cook. But I've got coal heat, so everybody comes there to stay warm while the power's off. And we're all closely united, even though we're family, but some of us is distant family, but we're still very close, united. And when you hurt one, you hurt all. If somebody hurts my neighbor's child, they hurt my child. If they hurt my child, to the neighbors, they've hurt theirs. And we stand up for each other. And we all stand up for what we believe in.
That little fella there is my grandson, and every move I make in this mountain, most of the time he's with me. It's a tradition. And it's hard to take stuff like that away from people without a fight.
They're going across the land, and they say they have the right of way because they own the minerals. And it's private land. And they're going across to get to their oil. And they can do anything. They say they can do anything that they want to do. And if they do it to us, they'll do it to everybody else.
We have been told they'll do it the easy way or they'll come the hard way.
Well, nobody's
I can't
around
help
but
what other
them.
people say.
Well, this is by E-Rex.
Okay, we represent E-Rex. E-Rex will be happy to sit down and show you what they're doing.
Well, Jim, you
what they
lived
get to
here
do.
all your life.
Sure.
You know we've lived here all of our life. And they have not notified us of nothing that they're doing. Nothing.
Well,
We don't want them. If they've got to get to the mineral route, let them find a way to get to it. But we don't want that.
We don't want our
And
mountain
Andy Wright, if he
disturbed.
was living, he'd be the first one. He'd be right here. He worked, and he walked from Maytang, and he worked in the mines, and he paid for that place and paid for this road. And we don't want them.
It should be my choice. That was given to me by my grandmother. It was paid for by my grandfather. And she gave it to me. I mean, this is a piece of property that has been passed down for generations. I mean, there is great-grandchildren living on this property. And I mean, they haven't said, well, we're going to make you move or we're going to do this, but how much of it are they going to destroy that those children aren't going to have that their great-grandfather wanted them to live on?
And he worked in a coal mines when he purchased it, and he paid taxes on it all his life till he died. And he wanted to see his kids and his grandkids grow here. I got 10 grandbabies, and I want them to enjoy the same nature and beauty I have. And I don't want to see it took away from them.
And really, all we have is each other. And you start trying to tromp on one, you tromp on a bunch of us. We're going to do what we can to keep them from coming in here and destroying what we have. But we figure the environment's worth more than the oil anyway.
This is our land, our environment, and our heritage, and we want to preserve it at all costs.
Here's a toast to the best mother in the whole world. Mine.
And grandmother.
And Granny.
Happy
birthday
to
you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mama. Happy birthday to you. Roll 'em out, Granny. Roll 'em out, Granny. All right. Good job. Come on, Helen.
Oh, that's right.
If he can make it over there. You want ice cream with it, Mother?
No, but these little young ones will.
So on your special day, you know you are special too. From the deepest part of my heart, Granny, I love you. Love, Judy.
Mom, sing like Swear Away to Heaven. Yes, sit down there and sing for us. Life is like a mountain railroad with an engine near that's brave. We should make the run successful from the cradle to the grave. Watch the curves that feels the tongue never fall or never fail. Keep your hand upon the throttle and your eye upon the rail. Blessed Savior, thou wilt guide us till we reach that blissful shore where the angels wait to join us in thy praise forevermore.
I'm the richest old woman in this world. I'm the richest old woman in this world, and I ain't got nothing but a little place to lay down and a place to stay warm and a place to eat and get plenty to eat and plenty of love, plenty of attention. What else can I ask for? Herbie, what else can I ask for? Is there anything else I can ask for? Well, okay. So now that's the way I feel about it, and I hope you get that in there. I do.
Life is like a mountain railway with an engineer that's brave. He must make the run successful from the cradle to the grave. Watch the curve never falter, never quail. Keep your hand upon the throttle and your eye upon the rail. Blessed Savior, thou wilt guide us till we that blissful shore where the angels wait to join us in thy praise forevermore. You will roll up grades of trial. You will cross the bridge of strife. Christ is your conductor on this lightning train of life, always mindful of obstruction. Do your duty, never fail. Keep your hand upon the throttle and your eye upon the rail. Blessed Savior, thou wilt guide us till we reach that blissful shore where the angels wait to join us in thy praise forevermore. You will often find obstructions. Look for storms of wind and rain on a field choo choo.